Hi, welcome to Java NetBeans graphical user interface tutorial. In this tutorial, I'm just going to show you guys the various message dialog box type. So the first one that I've worked on is this error message. You can see the icon. Look at it right there. So the content in there is just my own. Oh, sorry, I am not a member of the Coward Association. I am the Lion King. What I'll do now is to actually take you guys into the development environment. As you can see, there's nothing in this option boxes. So I'll take you guys there and just show you how it's done. So let's go into Java right now. So back into my development environment, I'll now click on or select my information message, right click on that. Now go into the events right here, action, and perform the following. Now I have my action to be performed is right here. So let me just highlight and delete that. So that's my action area. So what I do is I've actually copied the first message as the first message, sorry. So I'm going to delete that very message. I'll be deleting that message and just enter maybe something else. I don't know to enter, but let's see, I have some of my writing somewhere. Let me just get those. That's where I copied that from. So the next one is going to be this. Let me just copy that and paste that in there. Okay, so this has actually given me new line. I can always delete that, but I'm just going to delete that purposely so that we see what will happen with this new line that I've got. Okay, now the message, this is supposed to be information. So what I'll do is get rid of this error message icon, press a period statement, wait for the IntelliSense, and that is the message, information message right there. Double click on it and that's my information message, right? Okay, that is the variable I've given to it. Okay, you can always change it to whatever you want. You see that I've got rid of that. Okay, it's now just called output. You can call it whatever you want, like I said, and it's new J text area. That's the size I've set for it. We can change that. Let me say 16. Change that to about 16 by 14. Right, so I've changed that. Now output, that's my output right here as the variable that I've declared. Okay, that's the name I'm calling the text area, and I now ask the system to set the following text right here. Can you see it? I call it error, but in this case it's just some information. Let me just call it info. Now I have an error there. I have to change this to info, change that to information, and change the other one as well. I'm just giving it a variable that is related to the option box or radio box, and that's for information. Okay, so what I'll do now is compile and run. Now finish compiling my program, so I'll click on the arrow button so that you guys see the previous one. That's the previous arrow button. Look at that. So that is the icon for the error message. Click on OK. The next one is the information. Can you see that of information? Okay, and this is how my text content looks. You can see that I can never eat grass no matter what the situation, and it's not pride, that's just me. So that is for the information. The next thing is we will try that out, that of the warning message and the question. So let's do that now. I will just use that opportunity to change that error to information there. Now copy all of these just to save time. I am now in the warning action perform area. Click there, drop it right there, and change this information, change that to warning, and I'm going to use that. Might as well just change all of my variables right here, all the information. Let's change that to warning. I just want the variable to actually rhyme with the message icons, so that's why I'm doing that. The output, I still leave that as the same. Now I'm going to change the content in here to something else. I think let me use this. I love this. It was written by my little girl, so let me just copy that. Okay, now that I've completed the third one, as the first one, the sign of error message, or the icon of error message, followed by the icon of an information, and followed by warning message. This was written by my daughter. I don't understand what she's talking about, but she says, underneath the cloud, above the monochrome street, a shirtless winged man flew towards a window carrying magical eggs full of bright beams of light, with a transparent wing bustling to avoid the long swing branches. I have no clue what she's talking about, but guess what? There's a lot of prepositional phrase in there, which is okay for a little girl. Okay, let's go back to the next two. So the next one will be the question message. So let me program that. That's for the question. So I would just change that to a question, maybe quest, that's fine, and change this as string to quest as well. And this very one here should be changed to quest as well. Okay, and my message box here now become question, and here, and that is the question right there. So let me select the question again, so you guys can see. That's it right there. Double click, and there we are. The question is there. So compile again and run. Well, for the question, that is it right there. And I now have my message there for the question. So if I have already compiled, so let me just show you what it is. So if I click on this, what you see is the question icon. Look at it right there. Okay, I can display a dialog box. I pose a question. That's it right there, question mark. But that sometimes this says dialog box is mostly used for something you have to respond to, like yes or no sometimes. So that's for the question message dialog box. So just a quick recap. The first one is error message. That's the icon right there. An information icon, the warning icon, question, and finally, and that's it right there. Finally, plain message, just plain. I have nothing to declare, no icon to show you, period. So that's how you use different message icon of Java. So I'm just gonna call it a day right now. Bye.